So we go, our partner's gonna be standing above us, okay? From here, he's gonna be in a square stance. He's gonna be kind of a little bit further back. Usually he's kind of bent over at the waist a little bit if he's trying to Toriando pass, get around my legs, okay? So from this position, we wanna try our best to always be sitting up. When we have our back on the floor, it's really easy for Peyton to start to grab my legs and make angles to pass my guard. When we're sitting up, we can start to control our partner's hands. It makes everything like that much more difficult. From here, we're gonna look to scoot our hips forward. I can dig my heel into the mat, scoot my hips forward, hook behind my partner's ankles. From here, we're gonna push somewhere above our partner's knees up to the hips to knock our partner down. We're gonna slide down, grab our partner's big toe, and then do a hip up to get up to the top, okay? So we go, our partner's in a square stance, scoot, hook, push, control, work our way up to the top. Okay? 3, 2, 1. All the way underneath our partner so that like our sternum is underneath our partner's hips. The deeper you go here, the easier everything I'm about to show you is going to be. From here, I'm gonna bring this knee all the way up to my chest and I'm gonna put my foot on my partner's hip bone. We're gonna lift our hips up and pinch our knees together. From here, I wanna use my hands to hold my legs. A lot of times from this position, it can be kind of hard to like dangle off of your partner here, and especially if we have lazy hips or something like that, it's really easy for our partner to destabilize our guard, to start to make angles, and makes it hard for us to be able to follow with the legs. So we want to lift, pinch everything tight, and hold. From here, our actual attack from this position, if Peyton was naive enough to put this foot in arm's length, then I would just be able to knock him backward. That's going to be far and away the strongest sweep. But most of the time our partner is going to hide that from us. So we're going to think about lifting our hips up to take our partner's heel off the mat. We're going to close our elbow and we're going to twist hard to the side to start to sit our partner down. From here we can start to work our way up to the top by pulling our leg up, or we can start to attack some leg locks, which we'll get into here in a little bit. So we go, we start all the way underneath our partner's hips. Foot goes up to our partner's hip bone. I'm going to lift my hips up and then pinch. Guys, make sure when you do that, we're not trying to sweep our partner right away. First is we just need to get into position. So we're using that foot on the hip to lift and pinch everything tight, reinforcing with our hands. There's a tendency to want to do an overhook here, and there can be a time and a place for it. I find that when people overhook, they're not supporting their legs, and it becomes a lot more difficult to hold your partner's leg in place. Your legs get tired, and then your partner's able to destabilize this position a lot better. So instead, I really suggest you're grabbing your hamstrings, closing your elbows, lift, twist, and then we'll work from there. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Maybe trying to get an underhook and go for a knee slide. Go ahead, Peyton, something like that, or try to smash us, okay? So from this position, what I'm gonna look to do is grab a hold of my partner's leg. I can either go wrist deep or elbow deep. It doesn't really matter, okay? From here, I'm gonna look to bring my foot in front of my partner's foot and match our insteps together. From here, I'm pulling my partner's knee to my chest, and then I'm going to fall down to my shoulder. So we go, I'm pulling my partner to me, falling down to my shoulder. Then from here, my back is going to go flat to the floor. I'm going to look to kick this leg to the outside so that our partner's foot falls right in the spot we want it to. Our foot goes to our partner's hip bone, we lift, pinch, and then immediately we can start to go into our sweep. Okay? So we go, our partner's giving us a strong lead leg. From here, sometimes they even are stepping super duper deep. They might even be a little bit too close. So we can put our hand on the mat, scoot, insert that hook, and then we're good to go. From here, we have to go in order, guys. Otherwise, you're gonna miss your chance to get the most power possible to get underneath your partner's hips. So the first thing we want to do is pull our partner to us and fall to our shoulder. Then back goes flat. And then the last step, we kick our leg out, and then we get to our single leg X, and then we're going to sweep from there. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Lift, twist, knock our partner down. Now we're going to look to attack an ankle lock. So from here, I'm going to control my partner's secondary leg. That's going to let me kind of square my hips up and get everything in position. So we start to open our knee out. I'm going to make an overhook on my partner's leg, and we're going to bring our foot underneath our partner's knee here. Now, if you don't have a ton of flexibility, like anywhere across is going to be okay. This is just going to help us push our partner's leg down. So from here, we start to push it down so that our partner's foot is glued along the side of our body. From here, we're going to reach through, grab our forearm, grab our partner's shin. We're going to close our elbows super duper tight. When you guys do this, you cannot squeeze this hard enough. That's the whole point of the position, is getting it to this sweet spot and then making a cast around it. From here, we're going to be falling to our side. I'm going to put my foot on my partner's leg, and then very slowly, I'm going to think about leaning my shoulders back and bridging my hips in for the finish. Okay? You should feel it along the side of the foot. If you feel it up in the knee, your partner isn't squeezing hard enough. Okay? So we go, we do the whole sequence, we knock our partner down, we should land something like this. So we're going to control our partner's secondary leg, we open, grab a hold of our partner's leg. We make our hook, slide our partner's foot down, and we want to think about having it be like right along our rib cage, okay? I don't want this heel to go in front of the body, just along the rib cage. From here, we're grabbing our forearm, we're grabbing our partner's shin. I'm going to think about closing my elbows together as tight as I can and leaning forward with my head and arching my back tight. Then we're going to fall to the side, foot goes against our partner's hips, bridge in, should be very, very tight. 3, 2, 1. To either make our hooks if he has a square stance, or if he has a lead leg, we're going to make our connection and get under the hips, okay? So we go, and he's just moving around giving me different looks. We control under the hips. If he has a square stance, from here we're going, hook, knock our partner over. One thing, guys, when you go there, sometimes you get stalled. So if I make this grip, sometimes if my partner grabs my arms or my head, I try to, triceps. So from here, sometimes it's hard to push him back because he's able to pull himself forward. So we can just go behind the knees, scoop, and then get under the hips. Okay, 3, 2, 1.